You need to protect your seed phrase, and the Stonebook is one of the best options out there. Here's why. I've been using the Shieldfolio Stonebook for over 4 years. It stores 80 pages. Yes, 80 pages worth of my seed phrases, private keys, and passwords offline. No internet, no hacks. The best part is that it keeps all important info in one place, instead of having 10 different seed phrases thrown around that could easily be lost. It's light, small, and convenient to store in either your house or to take on the go. Made of stone paper, the notebook is said to be water resistant, tear resistant, oil and chemical resistant, and non-biodegradable. The only downside is that fire is extremely effective. And if you want to take your security one step further, they also sell a ghost pen, which uses invisible ink. Cue James Bond.
Mr.
Bond.
The writing's only visible with UV light. The company also created a security method called ShieldCrypt to encrypt your private keys. Shieldfolio made the following claims about the Stonebook, so let's test how they stand up to each category. And just a heads up that Shieldfolio did send me a few of these to test out for this video. Tear resistance. Although it's not tear-proof like metal, the stone paper is surprisingly much stronger than regular paper. It bends more like a thin piece of plastic. I was able to rip a page, but it took a bit of force to do so. And most people won't try to purposely rip a page, so this definitely checks out. Fire. Do not put flames near this book. It took less than a second to catch fire, and I was even stupid enough to do this over my wooden table. That did not work out well. Store it somewhere where fire won't be an issue, ideally somewhere fireproof. Acid and oil. For this test, I found some acid around the house that my wife uses, and after coating the page, both the ink and ghost ink, it stayed without any removal. Adding some oil to the mix, I found some extra penetrating solution. This should do the trick. But again, after covering the page in oil, there was no loss of ink or ghost ink. One more point for the Stonebook. Water. The last test was to simulate a spill onto a specific page in the notebook. To make extra sure of its effects, I soaked the page completely underwater as well. But just like acid and the oil, there was no effect on the ink or the ghost ink, completely exceeding my expectations of stone paper. And something that shocked me even more is that the stone paper maintains its tear resistance even when wet. This is a huge bonus. Now that we know how the notebook works, let's see how it compares to a metal seed backup. We'll compare based on a few different factors. For material, it's pretty obvious that metal beats paper, except in rock, paper, scissors. But the Stonebook is a longer lasting stone paper, said to last a lifetime and non-biodegradable. Still, metal takes this category as it's a stronger material. Depending on the metal protection itself, your seed phrase is generally exposed. For example, a metal plate. The Stonebook usually wins this comparison as the book is closed at all times away from my eyesight. As for ease of use, this also goes to the Stonebook, as it just takes a pen to write down information. Metal can be excruciatingly tedious. Using methods such as punching, engraving, and stamping is hard work. See my recent video for more on metal seed backups here. If you have any concerns at all about environmental impact, the Stonebook is more eco-friendly since it's created using recycled materials. Metal tends to be quite wasteful and difficult to melt down, requiring extremely high temperatures. For price, the Stonebook is pretty reasonable at $35 per book. Metal wallets can range anywhere from $20 to $400 US, but good metal backups are generally more expensive, making the Stonebook a better bang for your buck, especially if you're on a budget and have multiple seed phrases. Moving on to recovery, most metal backups can only store one seed phrase. The Stonebook has 80 pages, which can store multiple seeds. It also has the added benefit of private keys and password pages. Durability-wise, the Stonebook can easily melt in fire, as you just saw, or if exposed to sun for long periods of time. This shouldn't happen with metal backups, which can make them the clear winner here. And for portability, the Stonebook is lighter, more flexible, and easier to carry about. If you need to take it on trips or relocate, it would be much easier to explain a notebook over a stack of metal at an airport check-in. We should discuss any potential downfalls with the Stonebook or Ghost Pen. As we previously mentioned, stay clear of fire and don't leave it exposed to sun for too long. It will get brittle and destroyed. There's also been some reviews where the Ghost Pen ink runs out fast. In my personal usage, this wasn't an issue, but I did accidentally leave the UV light on, which quickly ran out. So you may need to buy another pen or a separate UV light if this happens to you. The final concern is that some users have reportedly made impressions on the page behind while writing, due to the pages being thin. If you're worried, get some sort of solid board behind the page while writing. But deep impressions actually have an advantage as well, as you can see the indentations on the other side of the page in case the ink was to ever disappear. I mean, let's be honest, when it comes to seed backups, it's literally all personal preference. So if you're interested in a Stonebook, I'd recommend grabbing 2 or 3 of them and storing them in different locations. This could be in your house, along with other locations that you trust they'd be safe. If you're worried about fire, invest in a fireproof safe, as they can be affordable and you can also store other important items there as well. And it's important to note here that it could be beneficial to have some metal backups of your seed phrases as well, just in case. But there is no one size fits all for seed protection. It just matters what works best for you. If you like this video, come subscribe and check out some of my other recent videos on different crypto topics.